No, I don't think Mr. Snowden was a patriot.
We used to have a word for somebody who stole our secrets. It wasn't whistleblower, it was defector. And I actually think that's a very good word for him.
What I would say is that my son has spoken the truth. He has sacrificed more than either the President of the United States or Peter King have ever in their political careers or their American lives.
Welcome back. So is Edward Snowden a patriot or a traitor? It's a question being debated on Capitol Hill and around water coolers across America. One Long Island lawmaker not pulling any punches when it comes to the Snowden saga. Joining me now in the studio is Congressman Peter King. Appreciate your time, as
good
always.
To be here. Thank you.
So let me get your reaction. You heard Edward Snowden's father say that his son has sacrificed more than you have ever, and the president in your political career. What's your reaction to that?
He's totally wrong. Listen, I understand he's a father. He's trying to defend his son, but he's totally wrong. What Snowden has done is put American lives at risk. He may have cost American lives. There's so much information he's given to the enemy in time of war. That's why he's been indicted for espionage. And it wasn't me that indicted him, it was the Obama administration. I support what they did, but this is you cannot take an oath to defend your country, to keep secrets, and then give the most top secret classified information, make it public, and put our people all over the world at risk.
So you put him in a different category than, say, a Daniel Ellsberg from the Pentagon Papers. I mean, he leaked a government report about the Vietnam War in the 70s. You're saying that Snowden has actually given information to the enemy. Explain that, because my understanding is he just leaked it to the media.
Well, by giving it to the media, he gave it to the enemy. Because already, for instance, we know that at least one of the Al-Qaeda affiliates has already changed its means of communications. So they are secrets, they are now plots and plans that we wouldn't have access to, that we would have otherwise. And that means American lives are at risk. We also know, at least he claims, that he has the names of American spies around the world, or assets or sources around the world. But no, just by laying out the systems the way he did, the enemy is adapting to it, they're changing, and they are, it's weakened our ability to penetrate Al-Qaeda.
So the president has called him, and you heard that in the soundbite, not a patriot. But you'd go farther and call him a traitor?
Yeah, I don't think legally you could get him under treason. That's very difficult to prove. But to me, espionage in wartime, in my mind, is a traitor. You can't get much more serious than making secrets available to the enemy while your country's at war.
Lon Snowden, Edward Snowden's father, continuing to talk. He wasn't holding back at all. This is another soundbite. I'll let you hear it, and then I'll ask you a question on the other side.
What I've seen is much political theater. I was disappointed in the president's press conference. I believe that's driven by his clear understanding that the American people are absolutely unhappy with what they've learned and that more is going to be forthcoming.
And that's what I want to ask you about. More is going to be forthcoming. Should we anticipate more leaks from Edward Snowden?
He has a lot more information that he's not given out. I think this is an implied threat, because we've had others who are close to him say that he has the names of our assets around the world that he could reveal. And what his father is saying now is what we believe, that yes, he has access, that he has a lot more information that he's not gone with, and he's holding that back as some form of blackmail. But, his father is saying that the American people wanted to hear this. Just so, this program is entirely legal. It's been upheld by the courts. It's monitored by the courts on a weekly, monthly basis. Everything that's done by the NSA is legal. There's not one instance of any abuse in 12 years. And for him to put American lives at risk because he thinks, as one person in the government, that the program is wrong, we can't have a government function that way.
Let me ask you this. Russia's given him a one-year asylum. How has that affected our relationship with Russia and our ability to negotiate and deal with Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, it's made it much more difficult. This is one in a series of events. They've been very uncooperative on Iran, on Syria. The Russians, under Putin especially, have gone out of their way to really go after President Obama. Even just Putin's conduct at the last summit, a very almost insulting way he treated the president. And ironically, it was President Obama who was going to press the reset button and go out of his way to be friendly to Putin. Instead, Putin just keeps sticking to our eye.
Was it appropriate for President Obama to cancel that one-on-one summit?
Oh, I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think he had to do that. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So Senator McCain has called Vladimir Putin an old KGB operative. President Obama has talked about this Cold War mentality. How do you deal with a country that, if they're still living in the past?
Yeah, there's not much we can do day to day. The fact is, we've made trade concessions to them already, made trade agreements with them. What we have to do, things we're more powerful than they are, and the time comes when they need us more than we need them. So it has to cool our relationship with them. And I think the president, and whether it's President Obama or anyone, has to keep that in mind that they've turned a page. It's not a friendly page. That whatever any influence we have, whenever we get the chance to take advantage of the Russians, we should do it. And they should know that. There has to be consequences what they did.
Let me get to the big question that's been on everyone's mind here on Long Island. Any big announcements you want to make tonight?
No, I've said that I am,
2016. Are we going to see a President King?
Who knows? You never know. I mean, I am looking at it seriously. I've been to New Hampshire once already. I'm going up 2 more times in September. I've been invited up there by a number of organizations to be keynote speakers and take part in different events, doing a series of interviews in New Hampshire and Boston. So I'm, I'm certainly looking at it. We'll see what happens. My main job is here in Long Island, but the occasional weekend I'll be up in New Hampshire for a while.
Exploratory committee, has it been formed?
No, I haven't formed it yet, because once you do that, there's all sorts of legal consequences. But I am looking at it, and I'm talking to some operatives in New Hampshire, people who are involved with other presidential campaigns in the past. They've been talking with me and giving me some advice and tips.
Okay.
So we'll see where it goes.
All right, we'll keep waiting.
Okay,
All right.
thank
And
you.
if you do make an announcement to run for president, will you come back here and talk to us about
Either
it?
here or Notre Dame, one or the other.
Here,
Stone. You
Notre
can
Dame.
decide.
All right, fellow
Okay,
Domer there.
very
I
good.
appreciate that.
All right.
Congressman Peter King, thank you again for coming in and
Stone,
joining us.
thank you.
All right. When we come back, Bill Corbell will have your 7-day hyperlocal forecast. Plus,
How about members only jackets?
Oh, 80s.
80s, 90s?
70s?
No, members only.
No, it's like 80s, definitely, maybe 70s.
members only. See what happens when Lily puts Long Islanders on the spot about their favorite and least favorite fads. That's coming up.